It is a huge honor and privilege to be with you. Matlub Sahib, thank you so much for your kind words. I am so grateful to my cat who met you and brought you into our house so that we could meet. Friends, when you love someone, it doesn't matter if you love them, if it's sunny, you'll go out to meet them. If it's raining and you come out, it shows that you really love them, doesn't it? And I look out here and I see sisters and brothers and I say, you love your prophet because you're willing to come out in the rain to celebrate his birthday, to celebrate with one another. And it is such a joy to be with you here today and to celebrate this day with you, which is a wonderful, wonderful day of celebration for all of us who have so much respect for the Prophet of Islam. Friends, I want to say that we are celebrating today, but we are celebrating in a shadow. We know that today we have the blessing of living in peace. But today, even as we speak, in Gaza, in West Bank, even it is spreading now to Lebanon, across other places in Israel and the region, there is no peace. There are appalling levels of violence and death and destruction. I was a few months ago in Sudan, where there is a civil war going. It is a forgotten war. Tens of millions of people are refugees, have lost their houses, are living in famine because of appalling civil war there. And yet we are able to celebrate here, and we don't take that for granted. Even as we've been hearing, in our own country there has been riots and disorder and violence, and particularly targeted against Muslims. The level of Islamophobia in this country, I am ashamed to say, is awful. And I know that many of you and many of my Muslim friends still live with fear after those terrible images that we saw over the summer of people being dragged out of their cars and beaten up. We are aware of the violence directed against our police, and we are grateful to them, and especially for the way that they police our city, our beloved city of Bradford. So we live here in a shadow of terrible things, and yet we stand together. Why do we stand together? Because our prophets tell us that we have to stand together. When the Prophet of Islam was asked about neighbors, you know far better than I do what he said. He pointed 40 houses in one direction, 40 houses that way, 40 houses that way, 40 houses that way, and said, these are people to whom we have a responsibility. They are our neighbors. We don't choose to have neighbors of people we like, of people who are the same as us. We have the neighbors whom God has given us. And you know also that the Lord Jesus Christ, he said the two great commandments are that you should love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind. And he said you should love your neighbor as yourself. And friends, what we are doing today is we are displaying love of neighbor. We are saying, and because what is neighborliness about? Neighborliness is about being interested in one another. I used to live, as Matlub Sahib said, in India, and many of my neighbors were Muslims. And I tell you, if you have Muslims as neighbors, you are never hungry at Eid. There's always a knock on the door.